from my side. And for a lot of people that know me, I can see your screen now. Thanks. I appreciate that, Ron.
Yeah, there we
For a
go.
lot of people that have heard me on this call before, I'm very, very passionate. I get really excited, but I have to tell you this story. I've told you before that I've got 3 kids. I've got an 11-year-old boy, I've got a 6-year-old boy, then a 3-year-old, but I still call her my baby girl. I was just really set back this week because my 3-year-old baby girl loves to study about planets and different things in space and different things. And we were sitting on the couch, and she wasn't studying at the time or reading through her books. And she looks over at me and she goes, Daddy, she says, do we live on Earth? And I had to just sit back and I looked at her and I had to smile because being asked this question for somebody, do we live on Earth? To be able to live in a child's mind, not being able to be bridled in life yet by being able to be told you can't do this or you can't do that, or not being able to know this or not being able to know that, I really had to smile. And I had to just smile and say, yes, yes. I call her Sugar is what I call her. And I said, yes, Sugar. I said, yeah, we live on Earth. And she says, well, I want to live on Saturn. And so it was funny to have the imagination of a child, of a 3-year-old, of being able to, being able to imagine things and not be, again, be restricted yet in life of what you can and cannot do. And I tell you that short story because I believe that way emphatically about this application. I believe that we're going to be able to do things with this company and with the IT application and everything that no one has been able to see before. So what I want to do is welcome all of you to that are new to this call, people that are reoccurring to this call that have came back on, you're taking your valuable time to just take all the limitations that you've thought of before and just eliminate them. Eliminate them like my little 3-year-old baby girl. Again, her name is Sophia, but I call her Sugar. And just basically take and lift those boundaries off, because if we can do that we have, I really believe that what we have is not only special, but we're going to do things in the world that people will only write about later, and we're going to be able to help lots of families all over the entire world with what we're doing here today. So again, welcome everyone here new to the call. And what I'd like you to do is look at the screen that Ron's showing here right now, and I'm going to take you through a few of the basics that we have for this really great call to be able to give you some insight from corporate and tell you some things that we'd like you to pay attention to. The item that Ron has on the screen right now is concerned about whitelisting. And whitelisting, people talk about communication from corporate. We send out regular communications on a weekly basis. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that you get our communications. So in order to do that, there's an email address here that's here in a different color. You'll see it make, and then it starts into the email address. And you'll see the email is notice@igrowmail.com. So if you take that portion that's in orange there and you take it into many different types of systems, whether or not you're in Yahoo or Hotmail or Gmail, you can go in and you can whitelist the individual email to assure that it gets into your in-basket versus maybe your spam box if you've got that locked down tight, to make sure that you get at the top of your plate our individual emails. So again, it's just real important, and we want to make sure you get, again, all of our communication. Next thing we want to talk about is customer support. Customer support is really exciting for us, and it's really cool. I know a lot of companies out there don't have live support. We actually have live support, live bodies that you can talk to. The times that are here are Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. PST time, then even on Saturdays from 10 to 2 o'clock. So again, service is just really important for us to make sure you can get a hold of somebody that you've got. So we got an entire support suite for everyone. Going into that, we've been talking about on this specific call about being able to make some really, really cool enhancements with our support system. And it isn't that our support system today isn't good, it's just that we think we can make it better. And how we think we can make it better, and we know that we can make it better, is using a system that I've implemented probably 2 or 3 different times in the past, and it works really well because this specific support system, a lot of very, very, very large companies utilize this. And if you can imagine some companies that just have an email, you just have to send in an email, and imagine being that support person on our side trying to rifle through all these emails, or you as the person that has a question, did I send in this particular support ticket or did I not send it in? So with this individual support suite, and I call it a suite for a reason, not because it's sweet like the taste or sweet, hey, that's sweet. It's sweet because it offers multiple different advantages all put in one nice, neat package. This individual package has things, and I'm going to go through these things here briefly, like again, self-service with auto-suggest. What that is it tries to predict with an AI model for an artificial intelligence model. It tries to go in and tries to predict before you go and get someone on live chat, before you actually send in a ticket, which this system does have both live chat and ticketing. It will actually try to predict your individual question against our pre-written knowledge base, which is like a glorified FAQ for frequently asked questions, and it will try to answer your question even before it goes to our system. So you basically go to the page, you'll say, okay, what's your question? Type in your overall question, and then we'll try to answer it. If you don't believe you have your question answered through these, this knowledge base that is really good questions that people have asked before, then you can, again, talk to someone live through chat. You can pull a ticket, all kinds of really cool things. The next bullet down is a really, really cool, again, with that knowledge-based system, being able to intuitively take you through step by step. The thing about the VoIP system of being able to get, a person on live, be able to talk to them through the overall system. So not just through the overall chatting system, but really being able to call and interface with them. Next item is through remote desktop support and screen sharing. What's cool is that the system will actually recognize what operating system that you're on, tell the individual person that which area of the country that you might be in. I might be over in Australia or someplace overseas or someplace here in the United States, and would actually tell our support person where you're from, what operating system that you're on, and that will help us diagnose the problems. So imagine that you're on the IT application and you're using that from a web-based standpoint, and you have a question or you're having some issues. You're going to be able to go into our support suite. We're already going to know what operating system are you on, an Apple, are you on a Chrome, are you on a PC that you have. So they're already going to know that ahead of time and going to be able to help guide you through, even doing a screen share with you. Hey, look at my screen from the support side, or let's look at yours, and let's take you through the individual issues to more quickly resolve your problem. Really, really cool. I'm very, very excited about this. We've started the integration through the suite that we've got, and it's going to be very exciting. Last thing on here is ratings and feedback. So when we actually put up a article, let's say on a knowledge base, again, it's like a frequently asked question, and we put this up for you, one of the things that you're going to be able to do is rate it and say, no, this is garbage. I don't like this. You got to rewrite it. You got to do something with it, or you can give it multiple stars and say, I love it. Bring more of it. And this is going to actually help us refine our support system for the future to continually make it better and better and better. What you're seeing here on the screen right now is you're actually seeing the tail end of our Asian tour. We have our rock star Lawrence, who's the brainchild behind our IT application. You actually see some of the pictures that you're looking at here on the screen, and as those were tagging through, you saw multiple meetings that were in multiple cities, and you see it's basically just a packed house at every single location. And for those new people that are here on the line tonight, this is an individual tour in multiple cities over in Asia that we were doing to help support some of the membership base. We're going to be having some of these domestically and in other countries that we've got. But this is just real exciting times when you can book rooms that are 1,000 people in a room, and it's standing room only in the back. So if you're looking at this opportunity for the first time and you're saying, is this a popular thing? Is this happening? How many of you have been to a meeting or you've went somewhere and there's been 10 people, or there's a bunch of chairs all in the back and nobody's shown up? It's not with these meetings of what you're seeing in the pictures that we're showing you. You're lucky if you're able to get in and stand at the back. It's pretty exciting if you're someone who's new to this opportunity to see where this is going. Really, really, really exciting. Next screen if you could for me. Beta release. Everyone's asking, when is the final app going to come out? When is it going to come out? We announced earlier this month that the beta release, we're going from alpha to beta. Alpha is a pre-stage to beta, and really it just gives more functionality and more users. So on the 27th of this month, we're going to be releasing this to beta, giving it available, really making it available for more individual users to come on. We're going to be taking the overall system from beta then into full release that we've got from our side, and that timing is going to depend upon your input from beta. So what I want you to do is encourage you to basically get in our system as a paid member. As soon as April 27th happens, you can have access to the app. I could actually come in today. If I come in and recruit 3 people and become part of our Founders 3000 Club, I could actually come in and get access to the app today. But if you say, hey, I'm just getting started, I don't know if I can get my 3 people before the 27th, it's okay. The next 7 days, be excited. You really, really, really need to try to do everything you can to get into this app, whether, again, you're going to be on your PC or your Android or your iPhone that you've got. You're going to be able to see the application, and it's going to be super cool, and your input's important. Because later down the road, you're going to say, my input helped form this application and where we were. And now with all these people that are on the application and the success of the application and this company, people are going to be able to say, I was actually able to contribute to it, and this is your opportunity to stand up right now today and say, I love this about the app, I don't like this about the app, and really being able to guide it at its infantile stage. Really, really, really exciting. Next thing I want to talk about is something that some people have been able to preview. It's in your back office, and I'm talking about smoking hot videos. Now, people have been asking, saying, I need some tools, I need some sales tools, I need some things. Well, if you can just say the word, that's 2 words, Mike Green, and you can keep saying Mike Green, Mike Green, Mike Green. Mike Green happens to be one of the board members of the company, but he also happens to have many, many, many other hidden talents. So if you hadn't noticed, or if you haven't seen a couple of videos that Mike has worked extremely hard on from corporate on being able to help us out to be able to put together these videos, you're missing something. I would immediately, if I were you, if you've not seen these videos, is I would get off this call tonight, I would come in here that I've got from my side, I would come in and I would see these videos and watch them as quickly as possible, because they're a viral sharing tool that once somebody watches them, they're going to be able to see the passion, understand why people are in this opportunity. And really, it's a viral sharing tool. And these are really, and I say smoking hot, I'm not underestimating. If I was able to get Mike on the phone, he's not one that wants to toot his own horn, but I tell you what, these videos are as hot as what I'm saying. And again, I hope that some of that can be conveyed in my voice. And I apologize if I start to talk faster, but it just comes through with my passion. As I get excited about something and I truly feel it from my heart, you can see my heart rate comes up. I start to talk a little bit faster, and you're seeing some of that on these calls, because when I get something that I'm seeing that is really this good that I have from that standpoint as far as these video goes, I hope you're just as equally as excited. I'm sure you will when you watch these. So log into your back office. These are live in your back office right now. If you're new or you're deciding, hey, I need to basically see these videos, I'm interested about joining your company, have the person that referred you to this call, have them show you these videos if you haven't seen them already, because these are a fantastic tool for the company. Next slide, if you could. Well, actually, I'm going to go ahead and stick there just for a brief moment. I want to talk, I know that Ron wanted me also to mention that we are taking those individual videos that we've got, and we're progressively taking the videos, instead of each individual live call every single day, we are migrating towards these videos for a reason. And I wanted to briefly tell you about that. The reason why we're moving towards these video types of platforms is because our company is so social, and the direction is where it's heading, is having this application on your phone. Lawrence, our brainchild of the app, has came on, and we've talked about a mobile back office before. We are heading in the direction very quickly of a mobile back office, which is a belly-to-belly sharing tool. What I mean by that is someone comes up and says, Ted, what have you been doing lately? And a lot of times, for many different people, you don't know what to say. I'm in this great company, and you start to not really do the company or yourself or the application justice because you're a little bit nervous, maybe you don't know as much. We're going to have a mobile back office on your phone to complement the application. You can go into this mobile app, click a button to show like one of these videos. So if someone comes up to you and Bob comes up and says, Ted, what have you been doing lately? I said, Bob, do you have just a couple minutes? I want to play this video on my phone, or can I send it to you on your phone? Can you look at this for a few minutes? And what we're hoping is that with this mobile, social, really social, belly-to-belly back office, and belly-to-belly, I mean person-to-person, is that you're able to quickly share this elevator pitch or what's passionate about the company, but you can play whatever video you want. So if you want to play one that's a starter video about the company, or the video two about the comp plan, or play different types of videos, you're going to have a suite of videos that you can play right from your phone or your iPad or from your computer if someone walked into your office, and able to show them all of these fantastic things that we have. So get excited as again, these videos are smoking hot. I'm not exaggerating. You got to take a look at them. Next slide, Ron, if you could. Sales tools. People have been asking, I need sales tools. I would like to get more tools. And it wasn't that there wasn't things, because we have an incredible back office, but we've been trying to refine, and there's a lot of things that we've been working on. But what you're seeing here on the screen on the left-hand side is basically a one sheet compensation plan that we've talked about on this call previously. This is available in your back office today. So if I'm sitting down with someone for lunch, or I want to go through how does someone, if I bring someone in, where does their first month's payment go? You can look at everything here. If you're looking on the left, that gray section of the box that starts and then kind of dogtails to the right a little bit, that's your first month's fees. And then the reoccurring fees, which is the second and third month's fees, that's where it explains where those monies go. And the bottom portion is the retail sale. So with just briefly looking at it, I can sit down with someone at lunch, go through where the paid monies go, how I can benefit from it, and it gives you a really exciting one-page look at our compensation plan. The page to the right-hand side is something that we're looking at right now on pushing forward later in the week. And what this is this explains what someone gets for coming into the iGrow network. And it's important for someone to say, well, if I pay, what do I get? What are the advantages? Why is your company so cool? And you can basically go into this application and this one-page slick handout and be able to hand it out, print it out, give it to people, review it on your iPad or your PC, or basically just have it as a individual source. So if you want to include it for people coming in, if you're going to do a small meeting, you could print these out ahead of time and give them to them as a leave behind, so they could go home with these individual sheets. But it's going to be a really good, and you can see from the quality, Steve has been doing a fantastic job from the quality of the graphics. And again, I think he's just awesome. I think a lot of people wish that we would have the graphic talents that our company has. But again, Steve is just unbelievable with graphics, and what you're seeing here on the screen is really evident of that. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to hand the call back over to Ron, because as we had talked about for last week's meeting, we're going to start bringing on more and more guests. Sometimes we're going to bring on a corporate person, talk a little bit more so you can learn more about them. Sometimes we're going to bring people from the field or maybe a board member. And tonight we have an extremely, extremely special guest. So if you weren't paying attention with the corporate stuff, I would absolutely turn up your volume a little bit, sit down and really pay attention and listen. Please just listen to who's coming on next. I think you're going to be as excited as I am. Thanks for having me on this evening. Ron, I'm going to hand it back to you. Thanks for having me on the call.
Excellent. Thank you, Ted. I got to say, just one more time, thanks for making my life a lot easier too. Having you come over here and just go toe to toe and shoulder to shoulder here with myself and Steve and the others has just, it's really helped make the vision and the path for this company very, very clear on where we're headed. So appreciate it on behalf of everybody, Ted. All right, guys. Well, I'm excited and honored to be able to bring this guest out here on the call. He's going to come out and talk with you guys for about 3 to 5 minutes, just really sharing some golden nuggets on what it is that he does to build his team. Last week, you actually heard from Justin Halliday. Justin is somebody that is in this individual's downline. I apologize for the picture. Will was actually on the road today, and I was not able to get a better picture from him. He's much better looking than that right there, I promise you. But Will is somebody I've gotten to know really well through this business, and we were acquainted actually through a previous business, and we have some of some of the same friends, and so just through the circles, I've gotten to know Will really well. And but again, I look at people's character. You guys will hear me talk about character quite a bit because I mean that really means something to me. Morals and values, and how you treat other people. It's I mean that's where my core is at. That's what matters to me the most. And so when I see somebody again like Will Cormany here, that he's just that amazing leader. I mean, his heart is so big. His team loves him. I mean, let's look at some of the things that he's been able to, accomplish here with the company before I bring Will out. And I don't want to take his thunder, but I also love this is his favorite quote right here. Strive not to be a success, but rather be of value. And when I saw that, I thought, man, that's perfect. I'm gonna have to steal that one from him because I mean that's really what life is about, guys. Is if you're always trying to go after your own success, you may make it or you may not. But if you try and be of value to those around you and to any company that you're with, you will make it. Okay, I mean you become of value, something that people want to have next to them, something that that they have to have, and you bring that value to the table, and it's huge. Where that'll take you in life, guys. But look at what Will has been able to do here. Number one on the all-time leaderboard. He's part of our associate advisory board. Matter of fact, he was one of the first associate advisory board members. One of the first Founder 3000 Club members as well. Long-lasting team that loves him and respects his leadership. I know this because I speak with his team. I have the opportunity to reach out and see how they're doing, and is there something that corporate can do for them, and I want their feedback, the same as each and every one of you guys, and with him being part of the advisory board, like I say, we get to spend a lot of time together, but also, guys, he's got team members in his downline. They're also the advisory board. Why is that? Well, it's because they've started to create the duplication underneath Will. They're watching him as a leader, and then they're duplicating what it is he's doing. Let's look at some of these numbers here, guys, that Will's been able to accomplish here. 14 people on the all-time leaderboard in his downline. Pretty incredible. I mean, if you're sitting there thinking, man, I'd love to be on that board myself, make it there, guys, but then don't stop there. Create that duplication. Love your people. Work with them. Help them to create a term I use a lot. Help them to create a legacy, something that they can pass on to their kids and their kids' kids. That's what Will is doing. He is building this thing with such a solid foundation. It's going to stand strong. Now, 14 people in his team on the all-time leaderboard. 116 of his team members are on the Founder 3000 Club. 116 of them. Well, great job with that, man. Look at this. 10 of those 116 made it on the Founder 3000 in just the last 7 days alone. So incredible. I mean, he came in with a bang. He's been working and creating this duplication. And guys, I mean, right up until the last 7 days even, you can see the effects of what's happening in Will's team. So if I didn't have your attention before when we said that we were bringing out an amazing speaker, I hope I do now. And I hope you guys are sitting there with your pen and your paper and you're ready to go. Will, are you with me?
Can you hear me okay, Ron?
I've got you. You might want to speak up just a little bit since you are on your cell phone there.
Okay, you bet. And thanks for the introduction, Ron. And I just got to say that I wouldn't appreciate this company as much as I do if it wasn't for the fact that I've seen some similar concepts over the years try to get into the social media space and monetize that space. And I think what really impressed me about your company is the fact that you understood the separation of the social media mainstream market and the income opportunity. And so many companies have said, well, we're just going to chase all of our free members away with some crazy heavy-handed sales pitch. And when I saw that you guys really understood that in order to go mainstream, you needed to have something that was fun and great for the free member, the free user. And, if you think about that, what multi-level opportunity or what direct sales company has ever gone mainstream? Crickets, none of them. Even the biggest ones out there don't compare with the kinds of numbers that social media does. In one day, social media can grow bigger than the biggest MLM opportunity in 2 years. So with the understanding that you all had of the separation of those two, now we have something we can really, go to work with. And, that's the opportunity when you have, people out there selling different products. That's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with any of it, nothing at all. But if you're singled out to one product, then that's the only market you can go after. It might be a product for a weight loss, or it might be a health product. But when you can override and make a commission on anything out there that people already buy, then I think anything is better than one thing. So I just got to really hand it to, Lawrence, for having the vision and pulling this thing together. Ted, you've brought so much to the table coming in and really lighting this thing up. And Ron, Steve, Mike, Vaughn, so many others at the corporate level that help us each and every day. But we have a social network that we can monetize, and for what? For doing what we already do. And I think two big messages are going to get out there very quickly. The first one is going to be there's 1 billion plus photos shared on social media every day, 20 million alone on Pinterest. Well, if you're sharing photos on social networks, why in the world wouldn't you do it over here and potentially get paid for that activity? And I think the other big message that gets out there is if you're going to buy something online anyway, why wouldn't you buy it for the same or better price over here and earn a commission on it? And that's just the beginning of it, but you guys are incredible. Keep rocking. Back to you, Ron.
Well, thank you, Will. I appreciate you coming out and sharing that with the group. And as you were talking there, I actually did put up some do's and don'ts that we've been meaning to cover there. So you were plugging for the social network so well. I went ahead and put the do's and don'ts on exactly what you were talking about, protecting the social network. And I'll transition right over to that. Will, thank you so much for coming out and sharing that time with us. I would love to have you come back and speak again here in the next 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever. And we'll keep bringing more and more of the leaders out. You may see some more of your team members getting invited to come out here and speak. So, Will, you're an inspiration to everybody. You're an inspiration to the leaders in the field, and we appreciate you, bud. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ron.
Okay, guys, so on the social network do's and don'ts, I want to bring this up just really quick here because we see a lot of those as we get closer to beta, with it being seven days out, and we have some folks that are already using in the alpha mode on the network. I just want to point some of these things out and make sure that you guys are properly marketing, because as Will said, it could kill a company very quickly if you cross these two lines. Okay, so number one, publicly, it can only be promoted naturally to free users through the app invite or word of mouth. Okay. 2, it cannot be used as bait for the $49, now the $50 iGrow Network membership. Okay, so you wouldn't promote it and then say, and you can join it through iGrow Network. You wouldn't go that direction with it. Okay, leave the it social network off by itself. Okay, so the free users can come in. And remember, guys, on the e-commerce side of things, on the retail side of things, you're going to make a lot of money off of those free users. So you're going to want to bring them in anyways. So keep them separated so they're not, as Will said, they're not turned off by a hard pitch on a network marketing company. That's not what this is all about. We're trying to give you guys the best of two different industries here and give you the exclusive marketing rights to put it all together. Okay. 3, no one can use the brand it for a group or page or name or username, etc. Okay. Number 4, iGrow Network and it cannot be combined on public ads or posts. Now, if you guys are sending an email to your own personal team and you're talking about iGrow and it, that's okay. Okay, that's your own personal team. We're talking about you wouldn't put it on a public-facing, like a Facebook page or something like that. Okay, it has to be private groups if you're going to talk about the two of them together. You'll even see us at corporate talking about both of them in some emails. It's because that's going out to you guys. It's a private group. Okay, you're already in, you're already committed, you guys are excited about it, but we're talking about the consumer out there who, unfortunately may have a bad taste in their mouth or heard a rumor about the networking industry and they go, oh, I don't want to be involved in that. I don't care if that's the first social network that pays its users, for the content that they're posting when it generates an e-commerce sale. I don't care about any of that. It's attached to that network marketing company. Okay, you see, what we're trying to do is protect that for you guys. So what you can do is you have these free users come in, and if they come in directly from the platform, they may never know it's even attached to a network marketing company. But again, that's okay. They'll end up in your 9 generations, and you guys can make money on them. Number 5, a full list of do's and don'ts will be provided when the product is released. So we are finishing that all up. It'll be going in your guys' back office, and it's something that is so important. I mean, I can't tell you how many leaders I've talked to about that, and we thought we were going to get some pushback on it with people going, no, we want to talk about them both together. But we knew, and Lawrence knew from day one, it couldn't be. Okay, but I have to tell you, the leaders that we've talked to are just like Will. Absolutely, they get it. The green light came on. They go, wow, that's perfect. I was having a conversation recently with. It's Ted and I. We had a conversation recently with Doc Fran and his team as well, and they said same thing Will did. They've seen other companies try and come out and compete in this space, and they failed because they didn't separate the two of them. So guys, let's do it right from day one. Follow these do's and don'ts, and make sure that your marketing is compliant. Okay, so that not only your group or not only your team, but the entire company and everybody else around the globe can grow at an astronomical rate that they've never seen before. So that's what's coming your guys' way. It's just incredible growth to your teams. Now let's talk about the 50K race. It's getting closer and closer, guys. We just topped the 4,000 active associate mark today, and growing rapidly. So I was asked earlier today, well, when do you expect to hit 5,000? It's actually really hard to say. I mean, with any company, there's always attrition. Even in growth phase, you have some attrition. So that has to come into account. And then, it depends on are there meetings going on out there? What exactly is taking place? So how long do we expect it to take? I really don't know. It could be 20, 25 days, 30 days, 15 days. I don't know exactly, but I do know it's not that far off now. So if you've been holding back, if you've been sandbagging, you got a whole lot of personals that you're waiting to put into this thing, you might want to do it this week, okay? Because things are really heating up and getting close. And Will, I know you're number 1 on the board, and you may not like me saying that, but brother, you may have some competition coming your way. So let's see what happens here, guys. If like I say, if you've got people you want to put in, now would be the time to do that. We got less than 1,000 active associates left before we hit this first benchmark right here. 5,000 active paying associates. The individual who has the most personally sponsored active paying associates in the 30-day period in which we look at, okay, will get a check for $15,000. That 30-day period that I'm referring to, obviously, is once we hit the 5,000 mark, then we need to see a 30-day period, and boom, there it is. All right. Then we've got 10,000 active paying associates. The individual with the most personally sponsored active associates would get a check for $25,000. Then this is where teams like Will's team and some of the others that we've been meeting with and talking to that are really building the foundations correctly, they're staging this right here, guys. 25,000 active paying associates. The individual who has the most personally sponsored associates who each have their 3. Okay? So you can no longer just go out and recruit. Now you got to start creating duplication, which my suggestion is do it from day one. Okay? Each person you bring in, work with them, help them, try and help them find their 3 people. Blast some text messages out, follow the 4-step process, do whatever it takes to help these folks succeed, and you guys will be reaping the rewards for years. Okay, at 25,000 active paying associates, check for $50,000. 50,000 paying associates, the individual again who has the most personally sponsored, who each have their 3, will get a $110,000 check. Now, guys, if you understand networking and you understand momentum, when you hit that momentum stage, and then you take something that is social media that has the potential to go viral. Let me give you an example of a company that went viral, Ello. Okay, Ello came out in February. By May, they were going viral. What does that mean? Well, guys, it was 50,000 plus downloads every single hour. Okay, now figure that in our business model, about 10% of those, roughly, are associates. All right. So what does that mean? Well, I guess it'd be a little less than 10% is associates. But if you had 50,000 downloads an hour, and let's say even just I don't know, 5% of those, okay, were becoming associates. That's 2,500 associates an hour. So the reason I state this is to make my point that all of these checks, we expect them to go out in 2015. We expect to be paying out $200,000 in bonus money on this one race right here within 2015, just because of the exponential growth and having that viral aspect of the social network. So if you guys have not taken this race serious, if you've been around for a while, I know this race was around before I was. I'm excited to see it getting this close because I came in June and the race was already here. And now it's becoming a reality. So if you have not taken it serious, if you're an old timer, you've been around here for a while, guys, re-energize, get active, and go after this because we will be paying out $200,000 to somebody. You might as well get your piece of it. If you are somebody that's new here and you're just checking us out for the first time ever and you haven't even secured your position yet, go ahead, get your position secured. I apologize for saying 49. It's actually 50. That was a small change that we made recently. But decide to move forward. It's only $50 a month. Get back to your sponsor, get their username, go to their replicated site, igrownet.com/their username, your sponsor's username, okay, and secure your position. Guys, timing is critical with our business model. We do have a matrix-backed program here. We've got all these bonuses that have been rolled out here recently. The sooner you get in, the more money you make in 2015. So secure that position, follow the step-by-step systems that we've talked about and the new tools that we're rolling out. Put every single one of those to use. Okay? If you've only got a couple hours a day or an hour a day to work this business, make sure that you're utilizing the tools that we provide because that's why we built them, is to help you guys be more efficient. Okay? Get on the phone, invite people to come and listen to the different videos that we have and to check out the website. It's a simple invite. You'll be surprised if you've done businesses in the past and you've gotten rejection. You'll be surprised how few people will actually reject you on this business model when you tell them, hey, you know what the problem with social networking is? They monetize on top of their users. I found a company, it's the first company ever to do this. They're actually sharing the revenue back with their users when the content they post generate an e-commerce sale. You can actually get a commission for that. When you share it like that, guys, watch what happens, okay? The light bulb comes on and people go, whoa, what? It does what? That's a major problem going on. You guys fixed that problem, okay? It's that simple. Just spark the conversation in the right way and then close the deal. Build relationships, have a lot of fun, and guys, I'm going to assume the close here, and I just want to say welcome to the team. So if this is your first night on board with iGrow Network, go out, get your 3 people. We have some spots left in the Founder 3000 Club. If you don't even know what that means, go watch the videos tonight. You need to understand all the benefits that are sitting here in front of you because some of them, once they go away, they will not come back. So go get your 3 people, secure your spot in the Founder 3000, and guys, welcome aboard. With that, this webinar is a wrap. Have a great night.